Good morning. It's morning coffee on Monday. I've been away for a minute. Needed to take care of some things with my pup that's got diabetes and just considering different aspects of the channel and how do I want to approach uh, presenting the thoughts that I have for you. One of the things I would share is that as we grow and become aware, we become aware that we are energetic beings housed in this material container, and then we become aware that we need to understand how all of these things work together to create either wellness or disease. And the many people would say, well, here's where you start, and here's where you start, and here's what you need to do, and this is what you need to do, and that. And I think that all of those things are true. Everything you hear is true for that person, and perhaps even for you if it's resonant. And one of the things that I was sharing yesterday with an individual was we can't find a path that works for us and then tell everyone around us this is the path. This is a path. It's a path that works. And when you become stuck in that space of this is the path, this is the truth, you begin to become rigid and part of the problem, to be frankly honest with you. We have to be able to be in our being and exist with others around us who are on different paths and learning different things and experiencing different things. And so anyway, I think that's really one of the things I wanted to say today. And then just being aware if somebody is present or not, if they've dropped out of your circle, if, questioning what's going on. Are you okay? I know I woke this morning to a lot of angst in my soul, and I know that it wasn't my own self. And so I know I was picking up on the energies from someone else. And so I'm sent energies to all those close to me. I don't know who was in need and who was feeling stressed today, but I just, I sent text messages and asked people how they were doing and if they were okay. And I also sent energy from an energetic space. But understand that we as a human being are very similar to the little Russian doll that you think about, where the dolls are seated inside each other. It's like 5 dolls, and there's a big one, and then you take the lid off, and there's another one, and you take the lid off, and there's another, and so on. And so it is with us as human beings. We have our physical body, which we all can see, the avatar that we live in. And we have an energetic body, emotional body, and a spiritual body outside of that. And even perhaps your bliss body, where you experience absolute bliss. But certainly the energetic, emotional, and spiritual bodies. And the reality is, when you have disease or discomfort, it's going to show up in your body last. It's the smallest part of your being is your physicality, and everything else envelops that, so it's larger. But the body, once the body is impacted by disease, bad emotions that you keep dwelling on, bad thoughts that you keep pushing, maybe even a spirituality that's not quite in sync with the highest vibration of love. And then you have that happening, it taints your physicality, and eventually your physicality is going to be sick, diseased. And so how do you fix these things? Well, you have to become aware of this. You have to become aware that you are a multi-dimensional being, and that all of your dimensions are being impacted by the world that you are moving in. And recognize that when you feel something feels off in the energies, when something feels off in your emotions, somebody says something and it's not that big of a thing, but it hits you in such a way that you're like, what in the heck is the matter with that person? It's not them. It's you. It hit your turbulence. It hit your soul wrong. It caused you turbulence. And so then it's something for you to look into and say, hey, what is this about for me? I put on a Facebook group that I'm a part of a question around interest in a class talking about chakras and how to work with your chakras and how to work with the energies and do some self-work, self-healing. And I was surprised to see how many individuals had no positive interaction, but instead negative interaction. One person telling me, you don't work with people, help people work with energies until they've done all their other work. It's the last thing you do. And oh, if that's your path, okay, but that's not truth. That's a person's truth. That's not truth. There is no truth around so many things. There is each individual person's truth. There's a truth for a collection of people. There's no absolute truth. And that's where we trip ourselves up, especially in the spiritual realm, because we want to come at it and say, this is the absolute truth. Well, many similar stories abound as the story of the Christ and all of the different things that were written in the Bible. You can, if you do enough research, you will find that all religious walks have similar stories. And so it's almost like we want to all have that story. Well, if the waters parted, then and the people walked on dry land, then well, that must be God. Well, if the world flooded and it was destroyed because it was bad, then well, that must be God. And so I've got to have that story too. And so all religious walks have those similar stories. And so what I would tell you is find your truth. Find that which resonates with your soul, with your being, and pursue that. What I would venture from my own perspective, my truth, is you will find that the joy and happiness and peace that you're looking for resonate out of a purpose to be a loving person, to be a loving being, to exercise love in all things, to say at no point do I wish to engage in anything that is unkind, impatient, lacking humility. I want to always be supportive, and I want to always be trusting of others. And when you step into that space, I can assure you, you will find peace. And when you allow yourself not to be in that space, when you allow yourself to feel selfish and impatient and unkind about something, you will find that you are not at ease. You have dis-ease. And if you stay in that state of dis-ease for a very long period of time, your body will absorb that negative energy and you will likely find yourself ill. And so I guess the point that I'm making is always seek love, seek the highest vibration of being, seek to be kind and patient and loving towards others. And I will be back tomorrow. I want to talk about the last two types of attachment, which I haven't gotten to yet, and share that with you. And then maybe we can move into another topic. So thank you for joining me, and have a wonderful Monday.